Have you ever wished to go back in time? Maybe there's something you wanted to say, but never did. Maybe you made a mistake, and you think, what if I could fix that? What if time didn't move forward, but backwards? What if every day the clock ticked in reverse? You grow younger, your memories slowly fade. The lessons you learned begin to disappear. You meet people, then forget them. You say goodbye before you even say hello. Imagine that. One chance to return to a single moment. One decision. Would you change it? Would you take a different path? Would you speak up instead of staying silent? Would you hold on to someone just a little longer? We all think we have time. Time to wait. Time to fix things later. But the truth is, time doesn't wait. It moves quietly. It moves constantly. And one day, it runs out. This video isn't just about time. It's about you, your choices, your life, and how you can make the most of it before it's too late. But let's think deeper. What does it really mean if time reversed? What happens to the life we've lived, to the choices we've made, to the people we've loved and lost? Imagine your life in reverse. You wake up one morning, and you're not older, but younger. Your body changes. Your memories blur. The days behind you start unfolding all over again. You don't grow. You shrink. You don't learn. You forget. And all the things you've worked so hard to become, they slowly disappear. You lose the wisdom you earned. You unlearn every lesson. You let go of every experience that shaped you. That's what reversing time could look like. You don't get more time. You lose the time you already had. And maybe that's the impossible question. Do we really want to go back? Or do we just want to feel like we did something right while we had the chance? Most of us don't notice time until it's gone. We go through our days like we'll live forever. We delay the things that matter. We wait. We say, tomorrow. We say, later. We say, someday. But time doesn't wait. It doesn't pause when you're tired. It doesn't slow down when you're afraid. It doesn't stop because you're not ready. Time keeps moving. Silently. Steadily. Always forward. And that's the hard truth. You can't control time. You can only control how you live inside of it. Think about your daily life. The small things. The routine. The rush. The distractions. The endless scrolling. The meaningless noise. Now ask yourself, what are you really doing with your time? Are you living with purpose? Or just passing days? Are you creating something that matters? Or are you just trying to get through? When we ask the question, what if time reversed? We're not really asking about science. We're asking something deeper. We're asking, have I wasted my time? Did I live it right? Did I love deeply? Did I do what I came here to do? Those are not easy questions, but they are necessary. Because the truth is, one day it will be too late to ask them. Look around you. Every person you love is getting older. Every dream you have is running out of time. Every chance you missed may not come again. And still, we tell ourselves we'll begin one day. We'll fix things later. We'll start soon. But soon turns into never. And later turns into too late. So instead of wishing to go back, what if you made the most of now? Right now. Not next week. Not next year. Now. This is the only moment you truly own. The only second you can touch. The only time that's real. Everything else is either memory or hope. If time reversed, maybe we'd see the value of things more clearly. Maybe we'd notice the small moments. The quiet conversations, the laughter at the dinner table, the warmth of a hug, the sound of someone's voice. Maybe we'd slow down. Maybe we'd pay attention. Maybe we'd realize how much beauty we missed while rushing to the next thing. But we don't have to reverse time to see that. We can start right now. We can start by noticing, by feeling, by being present. We can ask ourselves, what really matters to me? Who really matters to me? And what am I doing about it? You see, asking the question, what if time reversed, isn't about fantasy. It's about truth. It's about looking at your life and being honest, brutally honest. Are you proud of how you've spent your time? Or are there things you've been running from? Things you've buried? Things you've ignored? Things you said you'd deal with, but never did? This question forces you to face all of it. Your regrets, your growth, your fears, your hopes. And that's what this video is about. It's not just a story. It's not just motivation. It's a mirror to look at your life clearly, honestly, without filters, because only then can you change. Only then can you stop wasting time. Only then can you live forward. Instead of looking back, you can't change the past, but you can learn from it. You can't reverse time, but you can honor it. You can't start over, but you can start different. This journey we're going on together, it's not about going back. It's about going deeper into your choices, into your values, into your pain, into your growth. It's about learning from regret and not letting it define you. It's about healing from the past without living in it. It's about facing time with your eyes open. So if you've ever said, I wish I could go back. I wish I had more time. I wish I had done it differently. Then this message is for you. You're not alone. We've all felt that way. But we don't need a time machine. We need awareness. We need honesty. We need courage. Because the real question isn't, what if time reversed? The real question is, what will you do with the time you still have? This is just the beginning. In the next parts of this journey, we'll look at regret. We'll talk about healing. We'll explore the weight of time and the beauty inside of it. You've already lived so many moments, but you still have more. And those moments, they're waiting for you to show up. Fully, bravely. Now, let's begin with something we often forget. Time is the most valuable thing you have. Not money, not your car, not your phone, not your house, not even your job. Time is more important than all of them because you can lose money and earn it back. You can lose a job and find another. You can break something and fix it. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. There's no refund, no restart, no rewind button. And still, we waste it. We waste it every day. We spend hours on our phones, scrolling, watching, clicking, thinking we're relaxing, but really, we're escaping. We say, it's just a few minutes, but those minutes turn into hours. Those hours turn into days, and those days become our lives. We waste time on people who don't care, on arguments that don't matter, on jobs we hate, on dreams we never chase. We waste time worrying about things we can't control, and we forget to focus on the things we can. Think about your own life. How many hours have you spent thinking about the past? Or stressing about the future? Or waiting for the perfect moment to begin? Let me tell you something simple. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. There's a quote you may have heard. Time is money. But that's not true. Time is more than money, because you can't earn more of it. You can only spend it wisely or lose it forever. Now think of someone older, maybe a grandparent, maybe your parents, maybe even yourself. Think about how fast the years went by. One moment, you're in school. Then you're working. Then you blink, and decades have passed. You say, "Where did the time go?" That's how it always feels. Because we don't notice time while we're living it. We only notice it once it's gone. There are people in their 40s, their 50s, even their 80s, who say the same thing. I wish I had used my time better. I wish I had followed my dreams. I wish I had spent more time with my family. I wish I had said what I really felt. I wish I didn't waste so much time trying to be someone I'm not. Do you hear it? It's not the money they regret losing. It's the time. They didn't run out of ideas. They ran out of time. And one day, you will too. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. You are alive right now. You have time right now. But what are you doing with it? Are you using it or wasting it? Let's make it personal. Think about your average day. What do you spend your time on? Really think. How much of it goes to things that make you better? How much goes to people who make you stronger? How much goes to habits that build your future? Now flip it. How much time goes to things that leave you empty? How much goes to things that steal your peace? How much is spent doing nothing but feeling tired anyway? You see, time is your real wealth. The richest person in the world can't buy one extra minute of life. But you right now have that minute. You have today. You have this hour. You have this breath. So use it. Use it to grow. Use it to learn. Use it to build something meaningful. Even the smallest step counts. Even reading one page, taking one walk, having one real conversation, making one honest decision. That's how we spend time well. Not by doing everything, but by doing what matters. Now I want to ask you a question, and I want you to really think about it. If you could rewind the clock, what would you do differently? Would you spend more time with someone you lost? Would you stop wasting time trying to please everyone? Would you take that risk you were too scared to try? Would you forgive faster? Speak up sooner? Love deeper? We all have something. A moment we want back. A day we wish we had lived better. A person we didn't appreciate enough. But the past is closed. We can't go back. But we can go forward with wisdom. We can learn from the time we lost so we don't lose more. Because every second you have now is a chance to do it differently, a chance to slow down, to notice, to connect, to choose better. You don't need to wait for a life-changing moment. This is the moment you realize time is the one thing you can't borrow, steal, or save. You can only spend it, and once it's spent, it's gone. So make it count. If today was your last day, would you be proud of how you lived it? If not, then change it. Start with one choice, one decision, one moment of honesty. Maybe that's turning off your phone. Maybe that's talking to someone you've avoided. Maybe that's starting something you've delayed for years. Whatever it is, do it now. Because you'll never be younger than you are at this moment. You'll never have more time than you do right now. So stop waiting. Stop wasting. Start living. Not later. Not tomorrow. Now. This is your time. And it's the most valuable thing you will ever have. Spend it well. But even when we try to spend time well, sometimes it feels too late. Sometimes we look back and see all the time we wasted. And that's when regret begins to speak. It whispers in quiet moments. It speaks when the room is silent. It shows up when you're alone with your thoughts. Regret is powerful. It has a voice, and that voice can be loud. It says, I should have done more. I should have said something. I should have tried harder. I shouldn't have let them go. I shouldn't have been so afraid. We all carry regrets, big or small. Some are simple, like not making that phone call, not showing up when it mattered, not finishing something you started. And some regrets go deeper, like choosing the wrong path, staying silent when you should have spoken, hurting someone who didn't deserve it, not being there when someone needed you the most. And the thing about regret is, it doesn't just live in your mind, it lives in your heart, in your chest, in your breath. It stays with you, and it doesn't let go easily. But here's the truth: regret is not a sign that you failed, it's a sign that you've grown. Because people who feel regret are people who care. They care about what they lost, they care about who they hurt, they care about what they missed. That means your heart is alive. It means you're still learning. But the danger is this: if you hold on to regret too tightly, it can stop you from moving forward. It can freeze you, trap you in the past, make you feel like nothing can ever change. But it can. They didn't speak for years. Then one day, the friend is gone. That pain is real. That silence becomes a wound, and the regret says, I should have forgiven them. I should have reached out. But now, it's too late. So what do you do with that kind of regret? You can't go back in time. You can't change the ending. But you can change the story going forward. You can become the person who forgives now, who reaches out now, who listens more, who speaks from the heart. That's the gift inside the pain. That's what regret can do. If you let it grow you, not break you. You see, regret doesn't have to destroy you. It can build you. It can shape your future choices. It can remind you, next time, do it differently. Next time, show up. Next time, choose love. Next time, be brave. And the beautiful thing is, there is a next time. Right now is your next time. Right now, you still have breath. You still have time. You still have power. You can choose better today, so you don't regret tomorrow. Now let me tell you something else. Some of the strongest people you know have deep regrets. They've made mistakes. They've failed. They've let people down. They've lost years. But they didn't stop there. They learned. They changed. They started again. And that's what made them strong. Not the perfect life, not a clean record, but the courage to rise again after regret. You can do that too. You can take your pain and turn it into wisdom. You can take your past and use it as fuel. You can say, I may have done wrong, but I am not stuck in that story. I may have missed time, but I'm not going to waste what I have left. You can forgive yourself. That's hard, I know, but it's part of healing, because if you don't forgive yourself, you'll never feel free. And if you don't feel free, you won't live fully. Regret doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you've lived, you've felt, you've tried, and now you get to try again. So think about this. What do you regret most? What's one thing you would do differently if you could? Write it down. Say it out loud. Feel it. Then ask yourself, what lesson is hidden inside that regret? What is it trying to teach you? Let that lesson guide your next move. Let it help you write a better next chapter. Because your story isn't over. The past may be written, but the future is still in your hands. And you hold the pen now. Don't waste it. Use your regret as a compass to walk in the right direction. Use your pain as a teacher to grow into a wiser, kinder version of yourself. Use your time not to look back with sorrow, but to look forward with strength. Because you are not your regret. You are the one who chooses what happens next. This is your moment. Let it matter. Let it be a turning point. Let it be the start of something new. Because the real power is not in avoiding regret. It's in learning from it and becoming better because of it. Just for a second, you just let go of regret. You've learned from it. You've accepted that the past cannot be changed. But now, let me ask you something. If you could reverse just one moment in your life, only one, what would it be? Close your eyes. Think. Would it be something you said in anger? Or something you didn't say when it mattered most? Would it be that one decision? The one that took your life down a different path? Would it be that day when you walked away instead of staying? Or when you stayed, when deep down you knew you should have walked away? Everyone has one moment. One scene that plays again and again. Not loud, but quietly, deep in the back of the mind. Sometimes it shows up in a dream. Sometimes in silence. A mistake. A choice. A goodbye. Or never saying goodbye at all. If you had the power, would you go back and fix that moment? Most people would say yes. Of course. They would try to save someone. Take back hurtful words. Choose love over pride. Or maybe walk away before things went too far. It's easy to feel that pull. That desire to undo pain. To remove a scar. To pretend it never happened. But here's something to think about. That moment. Yes, that one. The one you wish never happened. That moment made you who you are. Let that sink in. The pain taught you how to feel. The failure taught you how to fight. The heartbreak taught you how to care. And the silence taught you how to listen. That one moment may have shaped your entire story. Maybe it woke you up. Maybe it made you stronger. Maybe it taught you a lesson no book ever could. Life is like that. It gives us moments we don't want. But somehow, those moments give us the strength we need. A man once said, "I wish I never lost my job. I thought it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But losing that job forced me to find my real passion." A woman shared, "I wish I never got my heart broken. But if I didn't, I wouldn't have met the person who truly loves me now." See, that one painful moment opened the door to something better. But in the moment, we can't see it. We're too hurt, too lost. And that's okay. You're human. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to say, "I wish that never happened." But after the tears, after the anger, after the silence, you must look again. Because sometimes what breaks you also builds you. Let's take it slow here. Let's go deeper. What was your moment? That one moment you would undo? Maybe you were too afraid to speak up. Maybe you trusted the wrong person. Maybe you broke someone's heart. Or maybe they broke yours. Whatever it is, I know it's heavy. I know it hurts. But I want you to ask yourself something. If that moment never happened, would I be the same person today? Would I have learned what I know now? Would I have grown the way I did? Would I have become more kind, more careful, more aware of what truly matters? Often, it's not the easy days that shape us. It's the hard ones. It's the moments we almost gave up, the nights we cried alone, the choices that left us broken. That's where growth happens. Not in comfort, but in challenge. So maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't wish to reverse the moment. Maybe we should honor it, not because it was good, but because it made us better. You don't have to love what happened, but you can love who you've become because of it. That's power. That's healing. You see, we all have a moment we'd undo, but if you erased it, you'd erase the strength that came after. You'd erase the lesson. You'd erase the growth, and maybe even the people who came into your life because of that moment. That's the thing about life. Everything is connected. One step leads to another. One decision changes everything. Even the worst day of your life can be the reason you find your best one. So, the next time you think, if only I could go back, try saying this instead. I can't go back, but I can move forward with more wisdom. And that's enough. More than enough. Because life isn't about having a perfect past. It's about writing a powerful future. A future that learns from pain, that grows from regret, that chooses love, even after heartbreak. And most importantly, a future that understands this. You don't need to reverse a moment when you've already risen from it. Let that be your story. Not a story of what if, but a story of what now. You've made mistakes. You've had regrets. You've felt pain. But you've also survived. You're still here. You're still breathing. And now, you get to choose what comes next. So look back, not to change the past, but to understand it. Look forward, not with fear, but with hope. Because the most important moment is not the one you'd undo. It's the one you're living right now. And that's where your power is. Let's keep going. So, we've reached a moment. A moment where things begin to shift. Where nothing feels the same anymore. And even though we say we want growth, we often fear what comes with it. Change. That quiet, invisible force. Sometimes it walks in gently. Sometimes it crashes like a wave. But either way, it always brings discomfort. Think about it. When was the last time you felt everything was changing around you? Maybe it was a job. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe it was something inside you, and you tried to hold on to the old way, to what felt safe, because the unknown, it's scary. Now, imagine if time really reversed. If life started moving backward, would we suddenly be comfortable again? Would all the hard times fade away? Or would we fall back into the same old habits? The same fears? The same versions of ourselves we worked so hard to leave behind? It sounds easy going back. But going back doesn't mean we've escaped the pain. It means we've escaped the lesson. Because here's the truth. Growth only happens in the hard parts. Not in the comfort. Not in the easy days. But in the struggle. That's why change feels so heavy. It's not trying to hurt you. It's trying to rebuild you. Let me take you to a simple scene. You're cleaning your room. Everything is messy. Clothes are everywhere. Dust on the shelves. And you think, let me fix this. But the moment you start, it gets even messier. You pull everything out. You move furniture. You uncover things you forgot. Now it looks worse than before. But this mess, it's not chaos. It's part of the process. You keep going. You keep sorting. You let go of what you don't need. You clean. You organize. And suddenly, that room, it's not the same anymore. That's what change feels like. It's messy before it's better. But many of us get stuck in that messy middle. We panic. We think, this is not working. And we give up. We try to run back. Back to the old ways. Back to what felt normal. Even if it wasn't good for us. That's why if time reversed, most people would not grow. They would retreat. Hide. Repeat. But here's something deeper. What if the discomfort you're feeling right now is proof you're transforming? What if your sadness, your confusion, your frustration is not a sign that something's wrong, but that something's changing? Butterflies don't just appear. They were caterpillars. They had to break down in the cocoon. Completely. From the outside, it looks like they're struggling. But on the inside, they're becoming. And so are you. But becoming is not easy. It's tiring. It's emotional. It takes time. Sometimes you cry. Sometimes you want to quit. But every time you don't, you're growing. You're learning to say no to old patterns. You're learning to set boundaries. You're learning to speak up. You're learning to let go. And that's not chaos. That's courage. So when life feels like it's falling apart, maybe it's actually falling into place. And when you feel lost, maybe you're just on a new path. A path you haven't walked before. And that's okay. Growth is not a straight line. It's a messy drawing. A dance with steps forward and backward. And sometimes sideways. But each step counts. So, what if time reversed? Would you still be brave? Would you still choose the hard road? Would you still go through the storm, knowing the sunshine comes after? Because you know now, it's the struggle that builds strength. It's the discomfort that makes the change real. And maybe the biggest growth is not when you win, but when you keep going, even when it hurts, even when no one claps, even when it doesn't make sense, even when you're afraid. That is transformation. So take a deep breath, feel the pain, feel the fear, but don't run. Stay with it. Move through it. Let it shape you, because the future you're dreaming of is on the other side of change. And you are not breaking. You are becoming. We talked about change, how it feels messy, how it hurts before it heals. But there's something else hiding inside that change. Something many of us don't want to face. Letting go. Letting go of people. Letting go of habits. Letting go of a past we hold too tightly. It's hard, because we think letting go means we're weak, that we've failed. But maybe letting go is the strongest thing we ever do. Think about a rope. You're hanging on, but your hands are bleeding. The rope is pulling you down. Still, you hold on, because it's familiar, because it once gave you comfort, because you don't know what happens if you let go. But what if letting go is not falling? What if it's flying? You see, holding on can feel safe, but sometimes it's the reason we're stuck. We can't move forward carrying everything behind us. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. Each memory, each regret, each fear, they're stones in your backpack. Heavy. At first, you think you can carry them, but step by step, you slow down. You get tired, and soon you can't go any higher. The view is waiting. The sunlight is just ahead, but only if you take off the weight. That's letting go. Now, if time reversed, would you still carry all those stones? Would you still let past pain control your present peace? Many people would. They'd go back and hold on even tighter. They'd relive the same stories, repeat the same heartbreaks. But not you. Not now. Because you've seen what happens when you let go. Yes, it hurts at first. Yes, it feels empty. But in that emptiness, you find space. Space to grow. Space to breathe. Space to become someone new. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means forgiving. Forgiving yourself for what you didn't know. Forgiving others for not being who you needed. Forgiving time for not pausing when you wanted it to. That's not weakness. That's freedom. Look at nature. Trees let go of leaves. Not because they want to, but because they must. To make space for the new. To survive the winter. To bloom again. You are no different. Your past was a season. And maybe that season brought storms. But seasons change. And so can you. Letting go is saying, I deserve peace. I deserve better. I choose to move forward. Some people won't understand. They'll say you've changed. They're right. You have. Because healing changes people. Growth changes people. Letting go changes people. And it's okay. You don't have to explain your healing. You don't need permission to be free. So ask yourself, if time reversed, would you still hold on to what broke you? Or would you finally say, that's enough. I've carried this long enough. Let it go. Let the anger go. Let the guilt go. Let the old version of you go. Because you're not that person anymore. You are wiser, stronger, quieter, maybe, but more powerful than ever. Letting go is not the end. It's the beginning of peace, the beginning of clarity, the beginning of you, unchained. So next time your heart feels heavy, ask yourself, what am I still holding? And gently, one by one, put it down. Watch what happens when you walk lighter, when you breathe easier, when you stop clinging to what was, and open your hands to what can be. Because when we let go, we don't lose. We make room for everything new. And that is how we move forward, even if time tried to pull us back. So now, you've let go of the past, of the pain, of what no longer fits. And for the first time in a long time, there's silence. No noise from the past. No weight from regrets. Just you. But here comes the next question. Who are you now? Without the fear. Without the pain. Without the masks you used to wear. It's strange, isn't it? To meet yourself again. Like seeing a familiar face, but not knowing the full story. This part of the journey feels quiet, almost empty. Because after letting go, there's a space left behind. And in that space, you begin to rebuild. Not with noise, not with pressure, but slowly, gently, with honesty. Because finding yourself again is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Maybe you used to laugh louder. Maybe you used to dream without fear. Maybe you used to believe in something bigger. But life happened. People disappointed you. Failures hurt you. And, little by little, you forgot. Forgot how strong you were. Forgot how much light you had. Forgot how much you mattered. But not anymore. Now is the time to return. Return to your truth. Return to your heart. Return to the version of you that didn't need validation to feel worthy. And this is not about perfection. It's not about becoming better. It's about becoming real. Real with yourself. Real with what you feel. Real with how you live. Because that's the only way to truly be free. Let's go back to something simple. Have you ever watched a child play? They don't think about what people think. They don't ask, "Am I good enough?" They just be. They live. They explore. They trust. That pure energy, that spark, it's still inside you. It never left. It just got buried. Under expectations. Under pain. Under years of pretending. But now, you've cleared the space, and it's time to uncover that spark again. Ask yourself, what makes you feel alive? What brings you peace, even in silence? What would you do if you weren't afraid? Because the real you is not someone you have to build. It's someone you have to meet, piece by piece, moment by moment. You don't find yourself in one day. You find yourself in the little things, in the quiet mornings, in the honest conversations, in the choices you make when no one's watching. Every time you choose truth over fear, you're finding yourself. Every time you say yes to what feels right, you're finding yourself. Every time you stop pretending, you're finding yourself. And when you look in the mirror, you'll start to see it. Not someone broken, not someone lost, but someone returning. Returning to love, to courage, to simplicity. If time reversed, would you rush to become someone again? Or would you slow down and finally listen? Listen to your heart, to your values, to your soul. Because the world is loud, but your truth is quiet. And it's in that quiet you'll find yourself again. So take your time. Be kind with yourself. You've carried so much. You've survived so much. Now it's your time to reconnect, to rediscover, to rise. Not as someone new, but as someone real, as who you were always meant to be. You found yourself again. After the silence, after the letting go, you stood still and listened. Now what? Now begins the rebuild. But this time, you build differently. Not from fear, not from pressure, but with intention. You don't rush. You don't copy others. You don't try to prove anything. Because now, you know what matters. You've tasted peace, and you don't want noise anymore. So you ask, what kind of life do I want? Not what others expect, not what society demands, but what you truly need. It starts small. Maybe you wake up earlier, not because you have to, but because the morning feels soft, and you want to feel it. Maybe you start journaling, just a few lines a day, to stay honest, to hear your own voice again. Maybe you stop saying yes to things that feel heavy. You start choosing light, even if it means saying no more often. This is what rebuilding looks like. It's not loud. It's not fast. It's real. It's gentle. And every choice becomes a brick in the new foundation of a life that finally fits you. You're no longer building for show. You're building for peace, for joy, for meaning. Think of a house, one built in a rush, with shaky hands, with borrowed designs. It looks good from far, but inside, it's hollow. Now think of a home, built slowly, with care, with love, with soul. That's what you're building now, a home within yourself. Maybe you leave behind certain people, not in anger, but in acceptance. You realize not everyone is meant to stay in every chapter. And that's okay, because this chapter is sacred. You rebuild with the right people, the ones who see you, the ones who lift you, the ones who let you grow. And you also rebuild with new habits, not to impress, But to align, you eat better because your body deserves care. You rest because you're no longer addicted to exhaustion. You speak kindly to yourself because you finally know your worth. If time reversed, would you rebuild the same way again? Would you chase what you now know never mattered? Or would you pause and ask, is this how I want to live? That question changes everything. You see, life doesn't have to be loud to be successful. It doesn't have to be full to be meaningful. Sometimes, a slow morning with a warm cup of tea is richer than a busy day filled with noise. Sometimes, saying, I'm proud of myself, quietly, is louder than 100 likes online. That's the power of intention. You live on purpose. You choose with care. You stop reacting and start creating. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to rebuild everything at once. Start with one room, one corner of your life. Clean it, heal it, make it yours. Then move to the next and the next. You are both the builder and the blueprint. No one else gets to decide what your life should look like. Not anymore. Now you walk with purpose. You speak with clarity. You love with boundaries. And slowly, you become the architect of a life that reflects who you really are. Not a perfect life, but a true one. So here's a thought. What if time never reversed? What if the only direction left is forward? Wouldn't it be wise to walk that road with eyes open and a heart full of intention? Because when you build with love, when you build with truth, when you build with patience, what you create will never fall apart, not even when the world shakes. That's the life you deserve. And that's the life you're building now. You've rebuilt your life with intention. You've chosen peace. You've let go of distractions. But now, there's one thing left. The most important thing. Consistency. It's not glamorous. It's not loud. It's not a quick fix. But it's the most powerful tool you have. Because here's the truth. Big changes don't happen overnight. You can't rebuild everything in one day. But if you show up every day, little by little, you start to see the shift. The quiet power of consistency is in its patience. It doesn't rush. It doesn't demand. It simply asks, can you keep going? When you wake up each morning, it's easy to forget how far you've come. It's easy to look at the mountain ahead and feel small. But remember, every step you take, even the smallest one, brings you closer. Think of a river. It doesn't try to cut through the mountain in a day. It doesn't scream at the rocks. It just flows. Slowly, steadily. And over time, it carves its way through the hardest stone. That's what consistency does. It doesn't rush. It doesn't complain. It just moves forward. And just like the river, you'll see the results. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But you will see it. It's easy to want instant results, to want everything now, but real change takes time. It takes practice. It takes showing up every day, even when it's hard. The secret to success isn't in bursts of effort. It's in the quiet moments when no one is watching. When you do what you said you would, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Consistency isn't loud. It's not full of fireworks. It doesn't get applause. But it's steady. And steady wins the race. Think of your dreams, the ones you want to achieve. They won't be built in one moment of brilliance. They'll be built in thousands of small decisions. You decide to wake up early. You decide to work for an hour. even when you don't feel like it. You decide to take care of yourself, even when life gets busy. You decide to keep going, even when no one is cheering for you. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up, even when it's hard. It's about not giving up when things don't go as planned. If time reversed, would you still keep going? Would you continue even when the path seems slow? Or would you give up and wait for the perfect moment? The perfect moment never comes. What matters is showing up. What matters is today. What matters is taking that one small step forward. Don't let the noise distract you. Don't let the impatience steal your peace. Because in the end, it's the quiet, steady work that creates real transformation. Consistency is the foundation. It's the secret weapon of those who succeed. Not because they're special, not because they have more talent, but because they never stop trying. So keep going. Keep doing the small things, the ones that don't seem important, the ones that feel like a tiny drop in the ocean. Because eventually, those drops add up, and you'll have a sea of success built on quiet strength. You won't always see the change, but it's happening, little by little, one step at a time. So here's what I want you to know. Consistency doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you become. And who you become is the most beautiful part of this journey, because the quiet strength of consistency will always carry you further than the loud rush of impatience. So take a deep breath, look at how far you've come, and know the next step is always worth taking. You're building something real, something lasting, something that will stand the test of time. And that's the power of consistency. And here we are, at the end, but is it really the end? Or is it just another beginning? You've come so far, through the doubts, through the struggles, through the fear of the unknown. You've let go. You've rebuilt. You've learned the power of consistency. And now, you stand here. So, take a moment. Look back. Look at how far you've come. Not just in the distance, but in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. You are different now. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are more at peace. And for all of this, you should be grateful. Grateful for the lessons. Grateful for the pain that taught you. Grateful for the times you wanted to quit, but didn't. Because without those moments, you wouldn't be who you are today. You wouldn't have the strength you carry now. So, feel that gratitude deep in your chest for the person you've become, for the life you're creating, for the journey you've traveled. It wasn't easy. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And that's what matters. Life will continue. There will be more challenges, more changes. But now, you know you can handle them because you've walked this road and you've come out stronger. You've learned how to rebuild. You've learned how to stay consistent. You've learned how to embrace the discomfort. And through all of that, you've learned that the journey itself is the gift, not the destination, not the success, not the applause, but the journey, the small moments, the quiet victories, the lessons learned along the way. And now, you understand that gratitude is not just for the good things. It's for everything. For every step you took, for every stumble, for every victory, for every lesson learned. Gratitude changes everything. It changes the way you see the world. It shifts your perspective. It helps you realize that everything you've been through has been part of a greater story. And the most beautiful part? That story isn't finished. It's still being written. and you get to write the next chapter. So when you look back and when you look ahead, know that you've already done the hardest part. You've shown up. You've stayed true to yourself. You've learned. You've grown. And now, you can walk forward with gratitude in your heart. Gratitude for the journey. Gratitude for the transformation. And gratitude for the person you are becoming. So, what's next? The road ahead is waiting. The future is open. And you're ready for whatever comes. Because you've already proven something. You've already shown that you can handle it. You can keep going. You can rebuild. You can transform. And, most importantly, you can embrace your journey with gratitude. And that is the greatest gift of all. Have you ever wished to go back in time? Maybe there's something you wanted to say, but never did. Maybe you made a mistake, and you think, what if I could fix that? What if time didn't move forward, but backwards? What if every day the clock ticked in reverse? You grow younger. Your memories slowly fade. The lessons you learned begin to disappear. You meet people, then forget them. You say goodbye before you even say hello. Imagine that. One chance to return to a single moment. One decision. Would you change it? Would you take a different path? Would you speak up instead of staying silent? Would you hold on to someone just a little longer? We all think we have time. Time to wait. Time to fix things later. But the truth is, time doesn't wait. It moves quietly. It moves constantly. And one day, it runs out. This video isn't just about time. It's about you, your choices, your life, and how you can make the most of it before it's too late. But let's think deeper. What does it really mean if time reversed? What happens to the life we've lived? To the choices we've made? To the people we've loved and lost? Imagine your life in reverse. You wake up one morning, and you're not older, but younger. Your body changes. Your memories blur. The days behind you start unfolding all over again. You don't grow. You shrink. You don't learn. You forget. And all the things you've worked so hard to become, they slowly disappear. You lose the wisdom you earned. You unlearn every lesson. You let go of every experience that shaped you. That's what reversing time could look like. You don't get more time. You lose the time you already had. And maybe that's the impossible question. Do we really want to go back? Or do we just want to feel like we did something right while we had the chance? Most of us don't notice time until it's gone. We go through our days like we'll live forever. We delay the things that matter.